This is the wall inspection. What we're looking for when we inspect walls on houses, especially in Texas, well, it's true anywhere, but Texas for a particular reason, we have expansive soils, and as a result they can cause the ground to rise and fall, and when they do so it causes cracks in the foundation, or in the walls itself. Not necessarily in the foundation, but you get cracks in the walls. So you can tell a lot about a building by the walls. I'm standing at the rear right elevation. You can see we've got a valley coming down here, and if we come down to the ground, you see there's some erosion. This is caused by runoff, and there's no gutters. Now, while it's common not to put gutters on buildings in Texas, it's not a good idea because runoff from the roof ends up close to the foundation here, and really it should be moved away from it. So I always recommend the addition of gutters. It will help preserve the value of your property, although it won't add value to it when you sell it, but it will preserve it. It will help remove water from around the foundation. And while we're looking at the wall system itself, we're also looking at the flashings and the sidings, or this siding here, see if there's any movement in it. The right elevation is okay, it's all looking very good. Let's move to the front elevation. We're at the front elevation. Up here you can see around the windows there the caulking is failing, so that needs to be recaulked. Without doing that, water and hot water, air will get in during the summer, and that can cause condensation inside the cavity space in the wall, and that in itself can lead to issues such as mould. That's good. Yes. Shh. My concern is water pooling in this area here. The grade is okay in general at the back here. You can see we've got a swale here, and there's a swale there, and we've got good drainage on the far side. But this area here, I'm a bit concerned about the drainage. Certainly in this area here, where we've got it slopes a little bit towards the building and then rises up. I would like to see that improved, because I'm concerned that we'll get pooling in this area, and that will cause, in really wet weather, the ground to rise, and may not necessarily may cause problems with the foundation. Let's go and look at the side elevations now. We've got good grade in here. We've also got a retaining wall. This will be an engineered retaining wall, 4 foot in height. We're going to have a check it out. It's looking fine. This is quite an important part of the structure because it holds the grade in place for the whole house. And you want to pay attention to this as the years go by. You don't want to see it moving. It shouldn't move, it should be fine. Now we're going to have a look at the grading at the front elevation. We're now at the front elevation, and the grading's really good. Nice drainage away from the building. And now we're moving to the left elevation, or right elevation actually, and the grade is fine. And now I'm outside. We're looking back to that area I was concerned about. I'm a little less concerned now because I can clearly see there's a nice slope away, and it will be continued past the fence. There's a nice slope away from the building that will cause it to drain nicely. I'm standing in the swale which is here. This is the foundation inspection. Good dogs. Yes. Yes. That's right. Yes. Okay, calm down. Calm down. That's good. Yes. Sit. 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 Calm down. Sit. That's good dogs. Yes, no, sit. We're to behave ourselves, okay? That's it. You have a celebratory run. Sit. 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 You're doing very well. Come on. Come on. Let's be. Come on. Come on. We're at the rear elevation, and down here we've got a post-tension cable end showing. That just needs to be covered with a parge. It's called parging. It's a waterproof cement. I'm standing at the rear right elevation. You can see we've got a valley coming down here, and if we come down to the ground, you can see there's erosion caused by runoff. There's no gutters. Now, while it's common not to put gutters on buildings in Texas, it's not a good idea because runoff from the roof ends up close to the foundation here, and really it should be moved away from it. So I always recommend the addition of gutters. It will help preserve the value of your property, although it won't add value to it when you sell it, but it will preserve the property without water from around the foundation. We're at the yard door, and the yard door framing is incorrectly installed. You can see coming down here, we've got a amount of caulking and how the actual frame itself is in contact with this surface. What that's going to do is going to allow water to wick up into the frame and rot it. So that needs to be relieved. It's normal to have a space here so that the wood doesn't come into contact with stone, brick or concrete. I'm at the front door, and we've again got the wood framing incorrectly installed to the door. You can see here where it's in touch with the threshold and in touch here with caulking. That's going to leak or draw water into the wood over time, and it will rot the frame. So that needs to be relieved. There should be a space between the wood and the flat surfaces here. I'm at the front elevation, and what we're looking for is the condition of the weatherproofing. And first off, we're going to start with the caulking. You can see in this corner here we have a hole. It's going to allow quite a lot of water to get behind there. And you've got a crack appearing here, and again water can get in. Now behind here is wood. See holes here, and here. So water is not good, obviously. But in addition to water, in the summer when it gets very, very hot and the house is cooled inside, hot air is going to be drawn in here because hot flows to cold. So second law of thermodynamics, heat flows from hot to cold. So hot air is going to go through there. And if it's humid, it's going to condense inside the walls, and that's going to lead to moisture problems. It could lead to mould. We've got another hole here. Again, that's got to be filled. It's essential that the caulking around and the weatherproofing around any window is absolutely sealed. If it's not, you're going to get problems in the future. Now we've got the keystone here. There's a bit of cracking around the edge there. I like to see that sealed. I don't care how they do it. I like to see a sealant. You can put a silicone sealant around it to seal it. Again with the window seal here. This way of doing a window seal, to my mind, is cheap. It's not good. It should be a single stone block here, not a series of bricks as they've done. This is porous. It will allow water through. So anything you can do to weatherproof that, the better. I'm looking at the window. It's at the gable end here, and you can see, if you look carefully at that window, you see the caulking is cracked. Again, it's going to allow hot air into the building in summer, and that will lead to all sorts of issues of moisture penetration in between the wall. It's also true here. Again, you can see how the caulking is cracked. So all of that whole area wants to be recorked and properly sealed. And these window sills, they really should be sealed themselves, because brick is porous. It will allow water through. And anything we could do to stop water penetrating in that area, the better. Right rear elevation. See, this is where I am. You see your air conditioning units there. If you come back here, you can see there's a little hole in the caulking there. This is the window to the master suite. You can see here the caulking is failing. I'm at the left elevation. We've got a problem with the caulking here. I'm not sure that that's sealed. It may be okay, but I'm not happy because I can see that gap there. I want to see those sealed. Here, see the caulking is breaking away and there's a probability water could get through. Good girl. There's a gap here in the caulking. More holes in the caulking here. Now we've got quite a big hole here. There's a lot of water's going to get in there. That needs to be completely filled. It's got to be sealed because it's inevitably going to get water in there, and that could lead to mould issues. Not least of which, once the wood in the house becomes wet, it becomes very attractive to little insects like termites. Again, we got a hole down here. I'm not at all sure about that. That should be sealed just for the sake of it. A water meter, and the isolation valve should be here. Okay, it's all good. Now we need to measure the water pressure. So we have our water pressure here of 45 pounds, which is fine. We have sufficient functional flow. Shower unit, unitary shelf, so it shouldn't leak. It's corked all the way around underneath it. It's okay. Caulking around there, around the base. It's all good. Into the bath. There's no cracking in the grout or the corking. Let's just check and see if you've got hot water on the left. We do. And the plumbing underneath. We have a P-trap. It's all good. That's fine. Yes. All good. We're at the yard door, and the yard door framing is incorrectly installed. You can see coming down here, we've got a amount of caulking and how the actual frame itself is in contact with this surface. What that's going to do is going to allow water to wick up into the frame and rot it. So that needs to be relieved. It's normal to have a space here so that the wood doesn't come into contact with stone, brick or concrete. I'm at the front door, and we've again got the wood framing incorrectly installed to the door. You can see here where it's in touch with the threshold and in touch here with caulking. That's going to leak or draw water into the wood over time, and it will rot the frame. So that needs to be relieved. There should be a space between the wood and the flat surfaces here. Once a year, I want you to make a note to come and do this. By actually flipping that valve, you release water, which is fine, but you also clean that valve, and over time they actually stick up, and they stick closed, in which case you have to replace them. That would stop that happening. Now work can last for a lot longer. Now the vent hood here should have metal screws into the legs, and at least two of the legs, to retain it. These flues do actually move with the wind, and the two legs will hold it in place and stop it moving, because you don't want the products of combustion coming out of the hood and into the room here. It can go up into the attic. You've got direct access there, so that needs to be fixed. We have sufficient functional flow. Shower unit, unitary shelf, so it shouldn't leak. It's corked all the way around underneath it. It's okay. Corking around there, around the base. It's all good. Into the bath. There's no cracking in the grout or the corking. Let's just check and see if you've got hot water on the left. We do. And the plumbing underneath. We have a P-trap. All good. That's fine. Yes. All good. water meter, and the isolation valve should be here. Okay, it's all good. Now we need to measure the water pressure. So we have our water pressure here of 45 pounds, which is fine. Okay, the ground UFA is in behind this panel here. Let's have a look at the meter. Here's the meter. Sealed, which is good. And we have two AC units. Make sure they're correctly rated. The rating on this one for the maximum circuit breaker size is 60 amps, and on this one it's 45 amps. So 60 and 45 amps is what we're looking for on the panel. Okay, here's the, yep, we have 60 and 45, so they're correct. So this is the panel. And we can do a quick test for power factor here. Where is the air conditioner controller? Here it is. Okay. So we're going to measure the amperage on the 2 hots. And we're drawing 41, 42 amps, 42, 43 amps. On this leg we're drawing 48. And on the neutral, 6.5. So 6.5, 48, 43.